everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and with Booker T. And today on Collision or Hit, we're going to have, Santa Claus or Father Yule here today on Collision or Hit, which is good because we're in the 12th month and it's leading into Yule. And Santa Claus's Father Yule's been a TWF from the 11th month going into the 12th month. And we'll have to see, what's going to happen, here today on on Collision or Hit, Tony Schiavone says. I can tell you one thing right now, Jim Ross says. It might not be all that, I don't know what's going to happen, Jim Ross said, but it is good to see Father Yule here today on Collision or Hit. We've been seeing him in TWF from the 11th month going into the 12th month, so it'll be good to see him again here today, too. Well, I'll tell you one thing right now, Booker T said. It's never truly that good to see Father Yule. No, it never is. And my belief of the work is he's really got no business being around until the 24th or the 25th. That's when he really got business being around, Booker T says. Well, you go ahead and you tell Father Yule that, Tony Schiavone said. You go tell him that he's not wanted until the 24th or the 25th. And see if that doesn't put you on the bad list or not. Ho, ho, ho. Happy Yule. It is I, Santa Claus, Father Yule here. And I've been showing up all from the 11th month, going into the 12th month here in a toy wrestling gathering. And I do got a list, and I have been looking at it. And some wrestlers are on the good list, and some wrestlers are on the bad list. And I'm not going to go out, and say anyone's names, because at the end of the day, they know who they are, and they know who's been on, and they know who they are. But whatever those deeds were, those sins, those misdeeds, keep in mind, all of that can be forgiven. Oh no, here comes Jade Corgill now. How about you just get out of my ring now, Father Yule? Well, that's a truly unkind thing to say. Yeah. You want to know what? I know that there's no stead to be in my ring at all. You Dollar Tree Father Yule doll, who you're just, taking up my time, because I know for a truth out there that you didn't get, don't have me on no list. And you come into this ring behaving as if you got some kind of reckoning on everyone. Everyone should be fearing you because your so-called good list or your so-called bad list, which I could care less about. Unless you're going to wrestle, which we all know you're not going to wrestle, I think that you should, you should get out of the ring right now. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now, Jade Corgill. I do on look what you do in the ring, what you did in AEW, when you won the AEW TNT winnings. No, the AEW TBS winnings, my mistake. And how you did become a two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Fighter, and how you are the one-time WWE Woman Heavyweight Fighter. And a TWF Woman Heavyweight Fighter too, and two-time TWF Women's Tag Team Fighter. But the way you behave, your mindset, your deeds, I just think it's wrong. And yeah, you are on the bad list for that. But not to worry, all those sins and misdeeds are forgivable by God and Jesus. Oh, so the truth comes out, doesn't it, Father Yule? That you're powerless, that you're mightless, that you don't got really any true might to speak of at all. You like to make a big talk about how, oh, I see when you're awake and know when you're asleep and know if you've been bad or good, but that's as far as your might goes, and God and Jesus gave that might to you. But I don't think there's anything stopping me from beating you up. Yeah, well, guess what? There's someone stopping you from beating you up. And you want to start, Jade, your shit, Jade Corgale. I can't stand up myself. Fuck. And you start your shit, come out here and threaten that you're gonna beat up Father Yule. Oh, that's gonna get you a lot of onlook. No, it's not gonna get you any onlook, and I can't even stand up in this ring. But don't think that the handicap of me can't stand up in this ring right isn't going to stop me from beating you up. Well, you see, now Rhea Ripley is someone Father Yule says that we could have onlook for. And what I would want to know is why you shifted the way you behaved. Why? Because things didn't work out the way you wanted them to. Well, I hate to break it up to you, life is unfair, and sometimes things happen that we don't want to happen, we don't think will happen, but they do, and it's how you deal with them. Oh yeah, Santa Claus, like you have any room to speak about being in a bind. It only works once a year. Oh, well, I take it back. Yeah, you don't know nothing about all the things I went through or why I chose to behave the way I behaved. And as far as you go, Rhea, I beat you, Gimp Lloyd. I'm not frightened of you. Well, if you're not frightened of me, Jade, then why don't you put the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings on stake here today on Collision or Hit? If you're not frightened of me, I'll do that. And between me and you, Father Yule, I know you can't see this. Between me and you, Father Yule, I'm sorry for what I'm going to have to do to Rhea Ripley, and I hope you understand that, so I don't get steaded on the bad list. Understood, Rhea. Understood. You know. And I'll leave you understood. So, hey, and I'll have your back too. If you want me to watch the match, I will. Well, we won't know. Well, we will not know. I guess. Well, looks like the match will happen because Feather Long, the main wicker of the Toy Wrestling Gathering, put the Fight Keeper out. So the match keeper. So I think this match. Stand up. Stand up. Come on, stand up. So I think this match is going to happen now. Tony Schiavone says. This match is for the TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings. First, she is Rhea Ripley. And she is the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Jade Corgell. Ding, ding, ding. Well, we know how this match is going to go. And keep in mind, it was Jade Corgell who beat Rhea Ripley earlier this year, or some months back, to become the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Oh, now she wants to run out of there. But Rhea Ripley not letting it happen. A hip toss, Tony Schiavone said. That's right, Jim Ross says. I believe it happened in the 10th month is when Jade Corgell beat Rhea Ripley and became the TWF Woman Heavyweight Fighter. Well, Booker T says, we all know that Rhea Ripley just kind of played her way and now wants to get Jade Corgell into the riptide, but Jade Corgell just gets right out of it and body slammed Rhea Ripley herself. And then a close stake. Well, you know what Booker T says? Father Yule played his little hand in this match. Rhea Ripley, made Jade Corgell want to put her strap on stake. She shouldn't have had to do it. Oh, Booker T says. First off, Tony Schiavone said, Father Yule didn't do anything as far as this match goes. Two, with Jade Corgell's the one, going. Rhea Ripley asked her if she wanted to put that show that she was a good wrestler, and thought that if she was so bold and so fearless, she wouldn't mind putting that TWF heavyweight winnings on stake. Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, and that was true, Jim Ross says. And Rhea Ripley asked Father Yule to watch her back in this match, but I don't know if that's going to help her all that much. No, it doesn't look like it. Not at all. Booker T said, now her boot coming in. Jade Corgell missed it. Rhea Ripley got her. Has now got her up into the riptide. And will Rhea Ripley become the 3-time TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter? She has already won it 2 times before that. Will it happen or not? 1, 2, and only a kick out, Tony Schiavone says. I could tell you what, Booker T says. Father Yule needs to play some more of his might. But as we know, the only might he does have is knowing when someone's awake and when someone's asleep. They've been bad or good. But again, that was insight given to him by God and Jesus. So, yeah, not really much he could do either. Jade Corgell body slammed by Rhea Ripley, who is not known for going to the top steeple. Yes, Santa Claus doesn't have as much might and slay as someone folks will think. And Jade Corgell was not frightened of being on the bad list, Tony Schiavone says. Well, Jim Ross says Rhea Ripley told Father Yule to forgive her for the son of things she might do because she was worried that she would be put on the bad list for some of these deeds. Oh, so Rhea Ripley's worried about being on the bad list, Booker T says. Well, that's no ducky, quack, quack, nothing. Rhea Ripley shouldn't be worried about being on some fake bad list. She'd worry about being a fighter, winning matches. 1, 2, and only a kick out. And this time Jade Corgell kicked out again. And Rhea Ripley doesn't understand. Oh, Jade Corgell just slammed Rhea Ripley. And then put a big boot on her. And now Jade Corgell is going to put an end to her, Tony Schiavone says. She does. And her foot's on her, and she got her feet underneath got her feet on the rope. The Fight Lord does not see it. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Jade Corgell. And still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Jade Corgell. Jade Corgell is still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She put her feet on the rope. She cheated, Tony Schiavone says. And sadly, the Fight Keeper, sadly, was not in the right stead to see it. Because if she did, then most likely that match would have been thrown out. Or not thrown out, but that cover would have, that cover fall would have not happened, Tony Schiavone said. I can tell you one thing right now, Jim Ross says. Jade Cargill won in an underhanding way, but she's still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter for another day. Well, I can tell you right now, Tony and Jim, I like Jade Cargill. I like the way she behaves. I like what she does. It's all about gold and winnings. And she's got the gold end, and she's got the winnings end, Booker T says. Or does she? Because I believe she does. All right, we'll take it away now. We're going to take it away now with Renee Young. All right. All right, thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with Jade Cargill here today on Collision or Hit. Stand up! Jade Cargill, once again, you are still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. However, some might bring up that you cheated to win that match by putting your feet on the rope. Oh, Renee Young, it's only cheating unless you get caught doing it. And the Fight Keeper, well, she did not see me do it. And Rhea Ripley, you can talk about Riptide this and Riptide that. I do not care. Alright? At the end of the day, I still beat you. I still, the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And that Gimploid, Rhea Ripley, I won't have to deal with her anymore. Well, I don't know if you can truly say that you are done with Rhea Ripley or not. Under the grounds that she could come after you again. Oh, I'll be ready for her. Everybody thinks that I'm frightened of that strong woman from the folk wealth of the southern land. But I'm not. And let me tell you something. I'm not frightened of her at all. She wants another match with me. The same thing that happened here today on Collision or Hit will happen to her again. And she said she had Father Yule on her side. I didn't see him in the match. Well, that was true. We didn't see Father Yule in the match, and even if we did, and even if we did see him in the match, I don't really think he would have played anything into the outcome. That's because he's frightened of me. He should be. Because I'm not frightened of being on the battle list, Father Yule. Just like I'm not frightened of Rhea Ripley. Well, stand up. That's my talk with Jade Cargill. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with Jade Cargill here today on Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got here for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Booker T. We hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.